Hi everybody, welcome back to the program. I like that. Blue Dog's still up, and Jock gave me a nice pin for my jacket. I like that very much, as I am very much a proponent of the arts. I do want to mention something before we move on to the big SCIA banquet from last night. I was here on Tuesday and had some guys in, actually Steve Roby's show, Nikki Savoy, and Mark Duplantis, who were here to plug for their friend, a big benefit, Sam Stufley, who has, and I hope I get, Hodgkin's lymphoma. They're trying to have a big poker run for him on Saturday, so I want you folks out there to know about this one more time. Only for $15 a person, you can be involved with this poker run, but if you don't ride a bike, it's okay. They are leaving from Mike Bruno's out on Martin Luther King here in Houma at about 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. That's June 11th, this Saturday. If you don't ride, you can go in a car. They go place to place. They're actually going to J. Don's over on Grand Caillou Road on the east side of Houma, then the Flintstones Bar in Berg, Louisiana. If you watch Swamp People, you may know Flintstones just a little bit. Then they're going to our bar, which is on West Main, and then they end up at Miss O's, which is on Corporate, kind of right behind Target, if I'm not mistaken, right there by Academy Sports on Corporate. And once they get there, they are going to have the whole parking lot open for fun and food. Voodoo Bayou, which is headed up by Mark Duplantis, is going to play music. They have door prizes, only $15. And again, this all is to benefit Sam Stufley. Sam Stufley, again, with Hodgkin's lymphoma, has been fighting a very tough battle, and these guys are trying to do good by him. Or if you just want to donate to his foundation, the Sam Stufley Foundation Fund, can be donated to at Capital One Bank. Go over to Capital One Bank and say you'd like to make a donation. I'm sure they would take anything that you are willing to give. So Mike Bruno's, the Harley-Davidson place over on Martin Luther King, they take off at 10 o'clock. Now, moving on to the SCIA banquet last night. Kelly Bonvillian received a prestigious award last night, the Tillman Esteve Award, which is the highest award that they give to a business person. Let's look at a little bit of what went on last night with Kelly receiving the award.
I tend to talk a little fast, so I kind of wrote something down so I could stay on track a little bit. But back in my college days, my sorority had a little saying that the old members tried to press upon the new members, and that was, to receive much, you must give much. So as a typical 18-year-old, of course, I just rolled my eyes and said, okay, where's the party at? But after I got myself together, I said, you know, let me try this out. So I signed up for a committee chair. I did every community service event, and I never missed a meeting, but of course, I never missed a social. So it kind of is something that stuck with me for a while, and my poor boyfriend, he tells me I have to send him our activities and a meeting invitation on our Outlook calendar so he can keep up with everything that I schedule him to do. So it kind of is something that's always been bred in me, and before I knew it, that overwhelming group of strangers in my sorority soon became my best friends. And from there, they reminded me to get involved with my community and with Nichols, and they remembered all the hard work that I did. And actually, one of those sorority sisters was the person who recommended me for the job at ES&H, which then brought me to the SCIA. So going back a little bit, I'm sorry, like I said, I talk too fast. When I walked into my very first SCIA meeting and I felt that overwhelming feeling of, oh God, all these strangers again, and they're all grown-ups this time. And I mean, Chet Morrison walked by me and I was like the real life Chet Morrison with a meeting with little old me. And I kind of got that nervous feeling all over again, but I remembered what I learned back in school, and I realized that SCIA was an organization full of people that really got things done, and I just felt so privileged to be a part of that, and I said, you know, I'm really going to do this. So that's when I went back to my office, and I emailed back then Miss Kathy, who I have been fussed many times for saying Miss, and I said, sign me up for a committee. So poor Kathy had no idea I was working for ES&H, but that didn't mean much of anything. I was brand new, and I didn't know very much about the regulatory industry. But like every other good salesperson's taught, I faked it real well. And I went in full force. I'm just kidding. I went in full force, and I did everything I can. And actually, Jane, on that 7 acronym committee name, she forgot the NW for workshops. But that was our full committee name before we shortened it to ICE Committee, to which I was then called the ICE Queen. Thank you, Don Hingle, wherever you are. So after that, I said, okay, Jane, I put in the real hard work. Now put me on that golf committee. I know about them people. They have a good time. So I switched over to the golf committee, and that's where I've been today. But many years later, I feel like I've received so much from the SCIA, from business contacts, friends, industrial information, drinking buddies. I mean, one time I hopped on the RV with Bobby Bartell and his group when he dropped me off at the LSU game because I was too lazy to wake up at 5 in the morning when my dad was leaving. So it's those kind of things that, in addition to work, that I've picked up on. So what I really like to say is, while the SCIA thinks that they're honoring me for a service, I'd actually like to say thank y'all for all that I've received from my years of service with this organization. And wait, and one more thing. I just want to say thank you to my past companies, ES&H and Safety and Training Consultants, for letting me give my time, which they, of course, were paying for, to the SCIA. And also for my current company now, Shamrock Management, who's new to SCIA. I told them, I said, yeah, I'll come work for you, but you got to join the SCIA. So they said, all right, done. I said, well, all right, that was easy. Okay, you have to join a committee. So I got one of our managers, Chuck Hackett, to join a committee. And on top of that, his wife, who doesn't even work for Shamrock Management, who works for another member company, to join a committee as well. So it kind of doesn't stop there. I really believe in the organization, and I try my hardest to get everybody else involved too. So just remember that as you're kind of going through life.
That was Kelly Bonvillian. Kelly Bonvillian received the prestigious award last night. That is the Tillman Esteve Award at the SCIA. For whatever reason, I have trouble getting that out. Again, that was last night, so congratulations to her.